It's Lani's Esoteric Brunch live on SOC Radio. Come on in, take your seat as the magic starts with Lani.
Live. Good morning and welcome to Lani's Esoteric Brunch. I'm here today with special guest Miranda Powell, who is an angelic intuitive, numerologist, energy healer and empowerment coach. Hi Miranda.
Hello Lani, thank you for having me. Very excited to be here.
Oh, well, I'm excited to have you. This is fantastic. And I'm just so looking forward to everything that we're going to be talking about. So the title of our show today is Navigating Chaotic Times with the Assistance of Angels. Now, the thing is, that might be our title, but we will be talking about other very interesting things that come off that. And one of them, which I'd like to open with, is you've just returned from a trip to the UK.
I did. It was exciting. It was fun, and it's very high vibrational. And with all of the energies that are coming in cosmically, with the with the moon phases and these eclipses and the Lion's Gate, and EMFs coming off, everything that we're feeling right now, it added more to the trip. The vibration of this trip was amazing. To be in Avalon, which is actually Glastonbury, you can, you have the Chalice Well, which is very much the divine feminine and the divine union energies. You have the Tor or St. Michael's, that is also divine masculine energy. When you go to Stonehenge, you actually have very ancient energies that flow through the ley lines under there, and that is the heart center of the world. So the whole world has, just like our bodies, has a chakra system. Yeah. And Stonehenge is actually the heart of the world. Oh, so wow. It was amazing sitting there. I actually sat on the grass, shoes off, hands flat on the ground, and I could literally feel the energy flow. Yes. And it was so high, so high vibrational. It was so easy to move into a meditation and just connect. So I did that, and then we drove up to Avebury, which is very ancient. It has these stones that stand up that are probably as old as Stonehenge. They're about 3,000 BC, somewhere along there. Yeah. And there's there was originally 97 stones that created an outer circle. I believe there's only 27 that stand now, and you can literally walk up to them and touch them. Stonehenge, they have it roped off, so you can't necessarily touch those stones. Oh, is that right? Yeah, you can't really. You're about 20 to 30 feet away, so you're still pretty close. Sure. But the ones in Avebury, you can actually move up and touch them. And it's believed that the energies that flow through there is the womb of the earth, and it's believed it's believed to have intergalactic energies that come through. So there's a lot of UFO sightings, alien anomalies. There is the crop circles that we always hear about. That's the area that they're all in.
Sounds so powerful.
It is. It's a very powerful, being there was amazing, just to walk amongst some of the old trees and the rocks and, all the animals that are running free. It just felt. Absolutely. You actually could feel part of that oneness, that everybody talks about in the spiritual circles. Sure. Definitely feel it there.
And you felt that. Yeah. Yeah. And so what was the purpose of your trip?
It was just a vacation. My daughter is getting ready to graduate this will be her last year at college. And we wanted to go on a trip before she kind of got to the world and started working and not having time. So I said, well, let's take this trip. We've all wanted to go. What an idea. So we did, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful timing. So, yes. Yeah.
And tell us about the ley lines in the UK, because I've heard they're very powerful sort of fields of energy around those. Yeah. I mean, can you feel them or are they just something, can you sense them?
I think people who are who meditate a lot, I'm going to say meditate a lot, because you are more in tune with yourself, with the earth. Some people just automatically can pick up energy, but the energy levels are so high there. Even if you didn't do this type of work, I think you would feel something and not be able to give a name to it. I think you would know that there's something, but not know what it is.
An intuitive sense.
Exactly. And ley lines are interesting because they run across the whole world. They're like meridians within our own bodies. So we have these main, you have main meridians, like when you go to, an acupuncturist and they put the needle in and they go towards, they'll put the needle in the main meridian, right, to unblock it.
Yep.
Well, Earth has the ley lines are like meridians. So that's what they are. And we have blocks in the meridians or the ley lines because of all of the drilling and fracking and all of the things that we've done. So there's a lot of blocks throughout the earth. So when I was working at Stonehenge, I worked on the ley lines there. I just put my energy into it, and as we add our energy to it, it helps to kind of open it up. And then the ley lines run all the way around the world. And if you look at it, if you look up ley lines, you'll find that the ley lines connect to the next one. So Stonehenge actually attacked to Uluru, which attaches to Mount Shasta in Sedona.
That's amazing.
And so all of these very high energy points is where these ley lines are running. The major ley lines are running through the earth.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. I mean, I've never been to Stonehenge.
Yeah.
But I could just imagine. And so you're an energy healer.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about that.
Yep. So energy healing, for me, I've been doing it for over 20 years, and it's basically a holistic practice that really activates the body's subtle energy systems to remove blocks. So by really breaking through these energetic blocks, the body then inherits its ability to heal itself because you're stimulating it. And I use different techniques. I'm just automatically, before I did any form of attuned type energy healing, I was just an energy healer. I just sensed it ever since I was a kid. I could sense it.
Okay.
But I am Reiki certified, so I do Kundalini Reiki, Angelic Reiki, Crystal Reiki, and Asui traditional Reiki. So I have different forms of Reiki that I do. Yeah. Yep. So I work with the earth. I work with people. I work on myself. I work on animals. So energy is amazing. It's amazing to help heal. You can put it, do energy on your food and your drink, and it helps raise the vibration before you put it in your body.
That's amazing. Yeah. And you're also an empowerment coach.
Yes. So basically what I do as an empowerment coach is it's a way for me to help shift the client or the person that I'm working with from the lower levels of consciousness or empowerment to a higher emotional state. So once that person can see things from a higher perspective, then they can see all the choices they actually have available to them. They don't feel stuck. And from there, we can then move to achieve more of a personal, version, the greatest version of themselves. We can really move into their best. So I definitely work a lot with them. And I did a membership program I tested last year, and it was a year-long membership program, and I called it Expanding into Consciousness. And within a year, we worked through different universal laws and the chakra system and various other things through meditations and just, on-hands learning. And it helps you to see things from a different perspective, and you learn to understand that your life is actually what you created. And so we give it back to you. If you don't like it, then change it. And you learn how to do that. So I love, empowerment coach was a title that was put to it, but really I just always felt that I would just help people. I never really had a title to do it, but that's kind of what people need to know. Well, what are you? What do you do? So
that is empowering.
Yes. When you find that you actually have your own healing and your own growth and your own, your own life, you can create it. It's all in your own hands. I think that's very empowering.
People as to absolutely how they can access that power. So it's always there, but some people might have a bit of trouble with tapping into it. So you help them in that area.
Right. I give them the tools. I give them the tools.
Sure.
Utilize the ones that they resonate with.
Yeah, because we do all the work ourselves. We all heal ourselves, essentially, but sometimes we need to learn how to. And
it's all about perspective, though. Lani, it's changing your perspective. Once you can change your perspective, then you remove fear. You remove the blocks that you actually created for yourself. And all of those blocks come from fear. So it's when we work in the heart space, when you open your heart and you remove fear out of it, you soar. You actually can move forward very quickly. And these girls, I worked with a lot of people, and these people, their lives changed. I saw it within the first 3 months. By the time you got halfway through it, they weren't the same people. It was amazing to see them change so much. Yeah.
And so how long would you... I know that nobody's average, and everybody is completely different and individual, and certainly have varying degrees of blockages. But how long on average would you say somebody would take to, say, adopt a more empowering approach to their lives or to changing their lives? How long would that take?
I would tell you, of course, like you said, it varies for everyone. And it depends on how much time and effort you want to put into yourself. But when I've worked with people, within 3 months, there was already a shift. You already saw a huge shift in how they were and where they came from to the direction that they were going. They started feeling more positive and feeling they actually had a purpose in this lifetime. And that is what we want. We want to make sure that there is some form of a expansion, then a shift, then, awaken, and then the ascension. So when I was doing my expanding into consciousness, that was the thing. The first 3 months we worked on expanding our perspective. The next 3 months we worked on shifting everything. Then after that, then the next part of the year, we worked on awakening our own gifts, awakening our knowledge, awakening our awareness, all of that, and our mindfulness. And then we worked on the ascension levels. So we did work them into 4 levels. And, it was something that came to me in a meditation. I took what all the knowledge that I had about the laws of the universe, which I'm writing a book about right now. But I took all that knowledge and then I broke it down, and then Spirit, our creator, gave me kind of how to do that. And so I just followed along. Archangel Gabriel worked a lot with me on it.
Okay,
that's how I worked it through. And it's amazing. It was just so, for me to see someone grow, someone who was at rock bottom.
Yeah, okay.
See them, a completely different person living this very successful and, creative life and just so happy. That's what it's about. That is it. When we help one another, we are of service.
Fantastic.
And I just found that so empowering for myself and definitely for them.
And so do you work with groups or individuals when you're doing that empowerment work? Yeah.
Oh, I do both.
Okay.
Yeah. I do different settings. Absolutely.
Sure. So it depends on, the what people are actually wanting, because some people work really well in groups because they learn from each other as well.
Right. And
so that can be an expansive experience in itself.
Right. In this particular course, the way I did it was I did it as in a group, and there were various groups that I had because they were all at different levels, and that was fine. And then they had one-on-one time. If they had questions, they could ask those questions, and I would answer them and work with them. But normally what happened was we understood that we were moving away from the I am and moving into the we are energies. And so because we're moving into that oneness energy. And what these people found was that working as a group, you learned that you are all going through the same struggles, just with different details. Everybody goes through the same thing. With the details might be different, but we all have money problems, relationship problems. We all have different problems, financial problems. Our details might be different, but the lesson is still the same.
Yeah, sure.
So, it was easy for everyone to resonate with one another once we really got off the ground, and they really, and they got ebooks, and all of that to help support them. We had question and answer time where they can ask whatever they wanted. And it was very supportive of them. And it was just amazing to see. It's one of those things that I've done in my life that I can say, thank you, Creator, for giving me that opportunity to actually share this information.
It's a real blessing, isn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely is. But I love it.
Yeah.
Everything that I do energy healing, numerology. I'm an empowerment coach. I train and teach, but my love is angelic. I'm an angelic intuitive.
Yes, and I was actually going to ask you that, and I thought it might be a difficult question to answer, but if you know where your true sort of calling is, I think it's an easy question to answer, and that is, what if you could be anything and you had to discard the rest or let the rest fall away, what would it be? What is your number one sort of thing that you always come back to, and that's the angels, is it?
The angels. And I will tell you, it's because as a child, I've always been able to communicate with them and see them. They've always been with me. And because of that, both my parents have the gift. And when I was growing up, I wasn't stifled. You know, most kids are, when their parents will say, oh, you're making your imagination, but mine did not. Mine supported it. And I had so much guidance growing up that I was fine. I stood in that power, and I've always had that gift. So, I'm an empathic person and psychic, and I'm a healer. And so primarily with the angelic realm, I do this work with the intention of helping myself and others, on their spiritual path, helping them with guidance in their life, and so I love working with the angels because there isn't any doubt to me that their intention is for love for us. Yeah. They have a lot of love for us, and all they want to do is help us. But we, of course, it's the law of the universe that we have free will, so we have to ask for it. It's not something that we're just going to do. We do have to ask for it. But when we do ask and we do open up to that energy, the blessings that come in are more amazing than I can even say.
Yeah, I could imagine. Yeah. So we'll move on to the angels in a minute, because that is what I wanted to talk about primarily today. Yeah. But first, I just wanted to ask you a little bit about. You said you're a numerologist. Yeah. So tell us a bit about that, because I just love numbers, numerology. The numbers of the universe. I think the whole universe is constructed of numbers, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I got to tell you a story though, real quick. So there was a lady that I met. I met her. She's a priestess. I met her about, I want to say, almost 20 years ago. Yeah. And I met her. I did a class with her. She was doing these classes, and I became friends with her. We just hit it off. And over the years, I would kind of bump into her here and there at different events. And I had moved, and she had moved on, and we kind of lost contact. And one day I walked into this metaphysical store, and there was an advertisement that she was going to be there with her new tarot deck, and she was doing readings the next day. So I went and I asked, do you have any openings? They said, no, she's booked up. I said, okay, here's my phone number. Please call me if something opens up. I would like to come. And my intention was to go and say hello to her anyway. They called me that night and said, something opened up. Would you like to come? And I said, absolutely. I walk in. I hadn't seen her in a few years. She recognized me. She says, oh my God. So I sat down with her, and she said, okay, Miranda. She says, the first thing I get is you are supposed to pick up sacred geometry again. I said, sacred geometry? You mean crop circles? She goes, no, numerology. I said, what the heck is that? She said, you've done it in many lifetimes, and if I tell you it now, you're going to just remember it. And I thought, no way. She said, okay, here's some titles of some books. You don't need a teacher. Just study it, and you will remember it. So I take her information. I go home, and I share the list with my husband. My husband leaves. He comes back and he goes, I ordered your books. He said, but the library didn't have them. So these are the books the library did have. So maybe you can get started. So I started looking through one of these numerology books, and immediately I started having memory. I remembered how to do this. So I took a day and a half and read the book. And then by the weekend, I could already do numerology charts. I could read numbers, and I could do it. So she was right. But basically, numerology is exactly what you said. It's universal language of numbers. Basically, it's just breaking down the patterns of the universe into numbers. And we're able to really uncover information about the world as a whole, as well as every individual, because we all have our own individual chart, or you can make a chart for the world. There's lots of things that you can do with numerology. And when you combine numerology with astrology, it's amazing. It's amazing to see. I know you're an astrologer, so I know you know.
I am, but I also do numerology, so I am intensely interested in the subject, and I think it's something that is ever unfolding. So, you can never learn everything about it, but it's an evolving thing, isn't it?
It really is. And, you know, every time I look at my chart or my daughter's chart or my husband's chart, I find something new. It just really,
amazing. Yeah.
It's just so amazing. It really is that self-help tool that can really help you reveal a lot about your own personal character and your life as a whole, isn't it? I mean,
absolutely.
Off my chart, I could tell when I was going to buy my house. I mean, I could see so much in that chart. It was amazing. So, you know, while numerology cycles really indicate opportunities and challenges, there's lots of joyful stuff that really can show in the chart. So I love it. It's a tool that I use daily, that I look at and I go, oh, okay, numbers today are this. This is the energies that are coming in. So everything kind of plays into everything else, doesn't it?
It's all interconnected, isn't it? And that's the thing with numerology is I mean, we've all got different numbers, as in we've got our birth number or our life path number, which is what we're born with, our birth date. But then we've also got our soul number, and we've got other, you know, you've got different ways of adding that up. Then you've got your name number. Now, I added up all the letters of my name, and it adds up to 44. So what you're saying is, yes, it is all connected. Yes, and I realised that I think, and I might be wrong because you're the angel expert here, but with 44, is that an angel number?
Yeah, all numbers can be angelic as well as, you know, as well as just numerology. But if you were looking just at 44 means to think big. And it also means that things in your life will be on a very big scale. It means that
I do have grand visions.
There you go. And that's okay. But it also means that when you think big, you're going to also be tested. It means your strength is going to be tested. But you're always going to have an opportunity to make a huge impact on the world, both in a material way and in a spiritual way. And you just plan it. Just plan it well. You know, I don't know what your zodiac is, but what is your zodiac sign?
Aquarius.
Aquarius. Okay, so you're kind of a flowy energy, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely a little bit of that. I've got a little bit of the reformist in me.
And isn't Aquarius very
creative?
Both my parents were Aquarius, and they're very creative, both of them.
Oh, okay.
Very creative energy. Yes. But, you know, as a 44, you really want to plan very well. You really want to, anything that you do, because if you're thinking big, plan it. Lay down a really strong foundation and keep that picture, that big picture that you've created in your mind, keep that in focus. Really focus on it. Stay strong and true to that vision, and your thinking big, it's going to pay off. So that's a 44.
Right. Well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, mine's an 11. When I broke mine,
a master number.
Mine is, it's all. Well, yours is a master number too.
Oh, so all the double numbers are a master number, are they?
Are master numbers, that's right. Yeah. And the 11 is all about being very intuitive, being very creative and inspired. I'm always inspired. I just got to do more with it.
Fantastic.
You know, it's really about sharing my vision, teaching, which I do, speaking and writing, which I do those as well. And it's really shining my light to inspire others. That's what an 11 does. And that's what I do. Yeah, isn't it interesting how we live our numbers?
It really is, and that applies what you said about 44. I mean, although that's not my birth number, my birth date number, it's my name number. But I still think your name has a vibration, so therefore the numerology applies to that same sort of concept, isn't it? So
it's still a character of you. It's still who you are. All your numbers in your chart still encompass who you are, and all of them make up a piece of what you offer to this world. It makes up a piece of that. Yeah, it's
my birth date adds up to 9, so I think that's a pretty significant number as well. I mean, all the primary numbers are, of course, but 9 is the big sort of humanitarian, wider.
It's really an accomplished number. It means that your soul's purpose is to step into light work. And in this, you know, so you're a spiritual person. So somebody with the 9 usually has either a religious background or a spiritual background of some type.
Definitely.
And you're born in this lifetime with everything you need to accomplish the things you want in this life or to complete them, because you've already done the other numbers in other lifetimes. So my belief system is that each time we've reincarnated, if you believe in reincarnation, that each time you reincarnate, you're born with a different number as your number, as your birth number.
Interesting.
And so Yeah, and each time you learn something, because each number resonates and teaches something different. So you learn, by the time you get to a 9 in a lifetime, it means that you've gone through all of these and you're closing that door. You've completed a whole area of stuff. And I think that's where you are right now. So it's really, you're taking action in this lifetime and just keep moving, because you're closing, in this lifetime, you're closing some doors and opening a whole lot of new ones.
Great. Well, that's really good to hear. Thanks, Miranda. I'd love to have a numerology report done by you.
I would love to do one for you. No problem.
Yeah, I'll be in touch.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, you mentioned before when you told me your story about this lovely priestess in the shop. Now, what do you mean by priestess? What was she? What does that mean?
She's a pagan priestess, so she studies earth-based modality, and I studied under her earth practices. Yeah, she taught me a lot about goddess energy. She taught me about animals, and I mean, I learned so much under her. I learned how it was under her that I learned the energy of oneness, learning about elementals, learning about just myself.
I love the elementals.
The divine feminine and masculine. I really learned it from her. I learned that, we call it magic, but magic and energy to me are interchangeable words, because thousands of years ago, people didn't have a word for what we know today as energy. So it was called magic. Right? Manipulating magic, doing magic. But really what we were doing back then is that we understood energy so well. We learned how to use energy. What we call the laws of the universe now is what they knew thousands of years before. And so she taught me a lot of that kind of work, because when I came to her, I was really working with just the angels. And she opened up another door for me. And what was interesting is I knew from a meditation that I had done many years prior that part of my purpose here was to learn to bring my heaven and earth energies together. And I didn't understand that. I do now, because I was born doing angelic work. It's very celestial energy, right? And then
that's bringing through the energies, isn't it, from the heavens? Just beautiful.
Then here's this priestess who's teaching me how to do it through the earth. And I learned to merge the two. And that is a divine union, isn't it? That is that connection.
Absolutely.
The masculine and the feminine. And so I learned quite a bit from her. And I feel so very blessed to have known her and to have been able to do this work with her. So I believe that everybody that has come into our life came in for a wonderful reason. And I always look at all of those relationships as blessings.
Yes, absolutely. What a beautiful story. Okay, well, let's move on to the angels then.
All right.
So how can the angels help us in chaotic times of our lives?
All right. Well, let's talk.
That's a broad question.
It is a broad question, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a foundation before we kind of jump right into why the angels can help. Because if we understand that we live in a world of opposites, a world of duality, right? The masculine, the feminine, remember what I was saying? The hot, the cold, the yin, the yang, the love and the fear. I think that's a big right there. In spirituality, we essentially have two options about how we can react in every moment in our life. That is duality. One option aligns us with the one energy that powers everything and connects all that is. And the other option brings us a little further away from our source of spiritual power. Now, awareness can propel us forward towards that highest potential of our life. And when I was telling you about expanding into consciousness, I talked about that awareness. That's what helped us to expand and to shift, is being aware. And once we get that awareness, it does propel us forward. And then we've entered into a new paradigm in which the love we integrated into our being is able to manifest as a very tangible blessing into our reality. So basically, we're learning that if we change our perspective, live in awareness or in being mindful, we then integrate and understand that we have control of how we create the life that we want. And then we can manifest them into something very tangible into our life or our reality. And that is our love and gratitude. These are blessings that help to manifest as long as we sit in love and gratitude for the things that create and the things that we are blessed with. Now, this will help assure the blessings will continue to appear in our life. So when we understand that we're opening ourselves to gratitude and love, right? Once we become aware, that's when our angels are here to help us increase that awareness and help us to release conscious and subconscious fears and anxieties during chaotic times and replace them with love. So it's the angels. Once we become aware of who we are, once we become aware of what's going on around us, rather than react, we just sit in awareness of it. That's when our angels will come in to help us to increase and understand what's going on and to help us release on a conscious level and a subconscious level any of those fears and anxieties that we might have built up because of, sometimes we get distracted, and those distractions create these anxieties and fears within us. And that's what causes this chaotic energy that's around us right now. But if we replace it with love, then we're then moving into a very supportive energy, and we leave behind the challenges and those chaotic energies, especially when they don't serve us. They don't serve us as like being.
So if love and fear are on the same pole, I don't believe hate exists. I think there's only two things, and that is love and fear. So hate is really a form of fear. Now, you've got your love and fear on the same pole. So if you're in a state of fear, which manifests as all kinds of undesirable emotions and behaviours, then, it makes sense to shift it along the pole towards that place of higher power, which is the love. So how can you use the angels or angelic energy to help you shift that energy from a place of fear to a place of love? How can you use their guidance?
I think that when we are in fear, then from there we don't know where to go. And then we become desperate. Think about it.
So a feeling of helplessness and powerlessness.
Yes, because think about it. When things are going right in your life, how many people say thank you to Creator and the angels? They don't. Very few people do that. But when you're afraid, even the people that are not religious or not spiritual will get down and start praying. And they'll start calling in anybody and everybody that they can call in to help them, right? Because when you're afraid, you become desperate. Well, that when you are sitting in fear and you call out for help, the angels will immediately come to you. I'm going to give you an example of what happened to me. About 10 years ago, I was driving to work. And I was crossing this intersection. I had a solid green light. I was crossing this intersection. It was 4 lanes on each side going each direction. They were at a solid standstill. When I got almost completely across this 4-way, this big road, the last lane, this lady just ran right through it, slammed into the side of my truck, and flipped me in the air.
Yeah.
So all I remember is I closed my eyes and I said, please, God, help me. Help me, angel. That's what I said, right? So I'm holding on and saying, God and angels, help me. I'm holding on to the wheel. All of a sudden, I just feel calm. And then I don't feel anything. And I'm thinking, oh, my gosh, where am I? What's going on?
Yes.
And I have to open at that point. I'm like, nothing's happening. I don't hear anything. So I think, am I passed out? What's going on? I open my eyes, and I'm literally sitting in a parking spot like I parked my car there.
Okay.
Now, I got hit so hard, I was flipping in the air, and I landed in a parking spot. My car didn't move forward.
Outside of the car.
Just sitting right in front, in the car, just sitting in a space. And I knew, and I walked away from that. And I was flipped in the air. People were freaking out that I actually was able to walk away from that.
Yeah, sure.
But that, when we are in fear, when we are afraid, when we say, please help me, the angels are immediate. They will come in. Okay. That's what they do. They come in very quickly and they will help us. Our angels are always ready to help. All we have to do is ask. And when we release that fear and say, help me, the angels will come in immediately. And they really do. They do take our hand and they do guide us and they do take us to where we need to go. I've worked with them for so long that I've learned that once you call them, a lot of people say, oh, you have to pray, you have to do a ritual, you have to do this, you have to do that to call them in. You really don't. All you have to do, come from the heart, call them in, ask them.
And just simply ask.
Simply ask. When you come from a place of being humble in a place of love, the angels will come in. You know, and that's where the misconception is, that you have to be either super religious or super spiritual, or you have to or you have to do a ritual or something to be able to bring them in, and you don't. I mean, if you know, some people like tangibles, they do, and they're like, well, I don't know, I feel silly calling them in. So with some clients that I work with, I said, okay, so if you have a problem calling them in, why don't you pick a crystal that you love, and maybe hold on to the crystal, and then call the angels in holding your crystal, because you know, there are certain crystals that are associated with different angelic beings.
Well, tell us about those crystals for listeners. They might be interested.
Sure.
What are certain angelic crystals?
Okay, well, for example, let's give you some examples. Archangel Chamuel, right?
Yep.
Archangel Chamuel works with the heart space. Chamuel helps us to renew and improve relationships. He works with us to build foundations in regards to our relationships, and you know, and keeping them. It kind of helps us to show, you know, help us with our dreams, also to help us, you know, with the planet. It helps the planet. What is the stone that you can use to call Chamuel in to help you with those things? Rose quartz. Rose quartz.
Sure. Yep. And that makes sense.
Fluorite is another one, because fluorite is all about balance, heaven and earth energy. So it clears the aura, the aura around you. So fluorite's also a nice one for Chamuel. Let's talk about some of the angels that everybody knows. Archangel Gabriel. You know, Archangel Gabriel really works on releasing fears. And when you're thinking of like the chaotic energies that are out there, you know, we have a lot of fears. Archangel Gabriel's an amazing angel. Call in and tap into and say, I need your help, you know, and you'll get that. And the crystal that's associated with Gabriel is citrine.
Okay, yep.
So that's another really good one. I know everybody loves Archangel Michael, and Archangel Michael really inspires strength and courage for us.
He's a bit of an all-rounder, isn't he?
Yes, I know. But he also helps us to kind of get through the chaos of everything.
Okay.
And one of, you know, and I always call him when I need to cut cords, you know, things that are binding me, things that are holding me down, maybe people or situations, especially some of the crazy stuff that's happening in the world. Rather than feeling attached to them, I call Archangel Michael to come and help me kind of cut those cords, so I don't feel so attached to an outcome, to an election, or an outcome to a policy, or you know what I mean? Just to kind of cut a cord away from that. And sugilite is a beautiful stone or crystal. Okay. Yeah, I love sugilite. It's one of my favorites. So, you know, Archangel, it's a purple. It's like this deep, beautiful purple.
I've never owned any of that. No.
Oh, you would absolutely love it. It's one of my most favorite crystals. Archangel Raphael. Everybody knows who Archangel Raphael is. He is our healing angel, and not just healing.
Messenger.
Yes, and it's not just healing also on the physical level, but it's also emotional level and spiritual level. Archangel Raphael can help us. And that crystal's malachite. Malachite's I love
transformative, isn't it?
Malachite's
it's a very powerful stone.
It's extremely powerful. It's if you just used it in energy work, it's so powerful. And every time I've ever used it,
or a base sort of thing. What is it?
It's heart and whole body. It actually works with the aura really well. I usually, when I'm working with a client, I can stick it on their heart. I'll lay it down on their heart space. And when I'm doing energy work, Archangel Raphael shows up. And the energies, you know how malachite has the little swirls in it? I literally see swirls going around the person that I'm doing the energy work on. It's amazing. So I really like
that works well with Raphael.
That's a great one for Raphael. Now,
with Raphael, I've heard that he is one of the sort of, I think it's Raphael, one of the divine messengers. So if people are needing a message, for example, some guidance around what they should do around some pressing problem in their life, like say a relationship problem or a financial issue, how do they sort of receive a message from the angels?
Okay. I wouldn't say necessarily Raphael, maybe if it became to a healing prospect, but a message really comes from Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel really is our messenger angel. And to calling in Archangel Gabriel, if you like, when I'm writing something and I need some guidance on where to go next, maybe I've gotten writer's block, or I'm just really not sure, I'm doubting myself, I'll call in Gabriel and say, I really need some help. I'm not getting a clear idea on how to do this. I need some clarity. And Gabriel will tell me, sit with me. That's what I usually get, sit with me. So I'll stop what I'm doing. I'll grab a crystal that I feel is, very associated with Gabriel, and I'll just sit with it. And then all of a sudden, I get inspired. The other crystal that I like to work with Gabriel is yellow fluorite. I love yellow fluorite. Yeah. And I sit with this yellow fluorite point that I have, and I just sit with Gabriel when he tells me to sit with him, and I do. And then it's almost like I get a hug first, and then all of I just get this download of information. And when I say download, it's just these thoughts that just start, all these ideas and thoughts start popping into my head. All these words start coming to me. And then I'm itching to go write it down, but Gabriel tells me to relax and just accept it. And so I just sit and allow these words and these images to come in, thinking I fear that I'm going to forget it. And Gabriel keeps assuring me that I'm not, and I never do. Yeah. And then I just go to work. But, with any of the angels, if we want to connect with any of them, all we have to do is say, I'm open to work with, and then say the angel's name. And then sit and meditation.
Do you need to be that specific, though? I mean, can you just say, I'm open to receiving the angels?
I'm open to receive, but I will tell you, the more you work with a particular angel, the more powerful they come through. And the easier it's going to be for you to work with them. Yeah. And so I love to sit with them in meditation first, just like I do with the dragons. I like to sit in meditation because it helps me to connect with them. It's like saying good morning to your friend. You start saying good morning, you do small talk before you get into the real serious conversation. That's what I do with the angels and the dragons. I'll start out talking, saying hello, and it's that hug and it's that love that you feel, the loving energy that they're giving you. And then we work into, okay, this is what's going on. And then this is when, everything kind of is laid out, and then the angels will begin to help you. But I'm pretty sure, like when I got into that accident, when you call them and you need them immediately, they're at it. They're jumping in and they're helping you. Yeah.
And so what about, you've spoken about have you covered all the 4 main archangels, which is Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and
Uriel. Yeah, Uriel is amazing. Now, he is the angel of wisdom, and I love it because he really helps us to shine the truth into all that darkness of confusion, and that's all that chaotic energy that's putting out there. That chaotic energy is misunderstandings and someone kind of controlling what's being fed to us. It's all this negative energy. And so Uriel helps us to cut through that confusion and all that dark energy and brings forward more truth. And the crystal that's really beautiful, and actually it's not even really a crystal, but it's amber. Amber is like this amazing, and Uriel, really, I find that when I have my big chunk of amber in my hand and I'm calling Uriel, I immediately sense him and he comes forward. So I would say Uriel, amber would be a crystal. Right. Now there are other angels that you can call. I mean, Archangel Haniel protects those who are really sensitive, that have psychic gifts and are kind of afraid of those gifts and not sure how to use them. Archangel Haniel will help you work through that. And the stone that works with Haniel is a moonstone. It's a very mothering energy. Sure. Archangel Jophiel helps us to look at things in a positive way. And, through chaotic times, you need some positive energy, right? So sometimes when we're feeling very negative about our dreams, about our intentions, Archangel Jophiel is definitely going to help us kind of see things in a different light. And the crystal that's affiliated with Jophiel is pink tourmaline. Pink tourmaline. Beautiful. Now, one of my most favorite ones is Archangel Metatron. He really kind of understands the hectic, energies that are coming in, and he helps for us to prioritize and kind of leads us into a more divine space, more of a purposeful space to be of service. And to help one another. Watermelon tourmaline is a really good one for Metatron. Some people, like quartz with him, but I find the tourmaline is really, really powerful.
Okay. The black or any colour?
Watermelon. I like the colourful.
Oh, the watermelon is just beautiful. And it's so expensive, though.
It can be,
It must be rare or something.
You know, I know that there's a lot of crystal mines out there that are almost mined out. So what happens is they make smaller pieces available, and then they become more. It's just like moldavite. Moldavite's one of those crystals that are almost mined out, so they are expensive.
And malachite is becoming quite scarce as well, so the prices are really going up with that.
I'm happy. I got these big chunky ones, so I'm really happy to have them.
I've got enough malachite too, so I won't be needing any more.
You're all set. We're both all set.
It's a beautiful stone. It's just visually so stunning, but also such a powerful metaphysical stone.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and as we're talking about chaotic energies, you know, I'm thinking of Archangel Raguel. Now, Archangel Raguel is the archangel of fairness, of justice, you know, of what we see in injustice and imbalance in that, and we want a resolution to it. Archangel Raguel is a perfect angel to call, and the crystal that is beautiful to work with is aquamarine. Aquamarine really. Isn't it? Oh, I love it. It calls the energies of Raguel forward. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. One of the angels I love to work with, and he's been with me since I was a child, is Archangel Raziel. Now, Raziel is the angel of esoteric knowledge and wisdom. He holds the secrets of the universe, right? And he really helps.
I like the sound of that.
And he helps us to open our clairvoyance. And my strength is my clairvoyance and my clairaudience. Or my two clairs that are very powerful. And he's been with me since I was a kid. So I've always known him. And he's helped me with manifesting. And he's also a really great energy, angelic angel to work with when you're doing any type of energy work. Clear quartz. Clear quartz, that master crystal, is going to be the one that's going to be able to call him in and bring forward his energy.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's to do with the crown chakra. The highest one, the crown.
The crown.
And so you could probably really open up to him using by opening up and balancing that crown chakra.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, Archangel Raziel really, I mean, he taught me, I'm working on 15 chakras right now. And I've been working through them through the years. So I'm working on my stellar gateway right now.
Oh, fantastic.
And he has been working with me tremendously on that. And that is something, especially with all these energies that are coming in, he's really kind of opened some things up and helped me see things from a different perspective. Remember, we were talking about perspectives earlier. You know, he helps me to see from a different perspective. So when these chaotic things are happening around me, I'm not falling apart, because everybody's starting to, you know, they're starting to fear, and you could feel it, and they're looking to me and saying, what do we do? And so I keep my calm because I stay in a space of mindfulness. I stay in a space of awareness. And because of staying in my heart in a space of love, I can transmute the fear that everybody's feeling. So as they're throwing this fear at me, instead of me shielding it and bouncing, I taught this recently. The dragons actually taught me this one. So basically what the dragons taught me was that as a light worker, we tend to put these shields up to protect ourselves from absorbing people's energies, negative energies, right? Yeah. And so the dragons told me, Miranda, as a light worker, you need to share your light and not shield it. And I was like, what the heck? How do I do that? And they told me that I needed to surround myself in this the way they showed it to me was like this golden white, pink light that surrounded me. It almost looked like a foggy smoke around me. And then when people come around me, any negativity that comes towards me is absorbed in that light, and then it's thrown back at them with love and calmness and peace. And so what I'm doing, rather than shielding it and throwing back negative energy, I'm absorbing it, transmuting it, and sending it back in a loving way instead. And so I found out, since I've been doing that technique, it calms people down when they're feeling afraid and they're worried because of the things that are happening in this world. You know, we've had a lot of horrible things happen in Spain recently. You know, in England, there was a lot of horrible things that happened. here in the United States, all over the world, really. And people have been, up in arms about it. And
Well, they're pretty much feeding into it and perpetuating it by doing that. So how can we stay positive during these times?
Oh, well, I always say call in the angels, because the angels are always going to give us some hope and kind of show us to navigate it. But I think that, there are ways that we can actually work through it. And one of the ways that I would tell you is keep busy. Do more of what you love. What happens is we start becoming too absorbed. I know people who sit and watch TV constantly. And so they're constantly absorbed.
It deadens your energy, doesn't it?
Oh, it certainly does. And we need to stay centered. So we need to center our life and get back to what's really important to us and focus on that. We need to stay true to our own purpose. If it's to be of service, then be of service. If it's to, be creative and share it with the world. But whatever it is, you need to stay true to your purpose.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Get up excited in the morning. Every morning I get up grateful. I sit up in bed and I say, thank you. I'm grateful for this beautiful day. That's the first thing I say.
Yep.
And then I go through and I wake up excited about what my day's going to look like. And just know that you're supported.
It's a beautiful way to start the day.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the other thing is feel supported. Know that the angels are with you. Know that you're always being surrounded with love, even when you don't see them, even when you're not calling them. Know that they are surrounding you. During times of harsh energy, they're there. During these chaotic times, they're always there. They're just waiting for you to call them in. And honor your trust and desires and your intentions. Really honor those things and work what you want in your life. Don't make excuses of why you don't do it. Take action, the law of action. Start doing the things you need to get to where you want to go. Start achieving those intentions that you've set for yourself. But fill yourself with love. You really want to stay in a space of love. I always tell people, when you're overwhelmed with something, put your hands on top of your heart. Take 3 deep breaths and bring yourself back into the heart space. When you bring yourself back with love, you stay more positive, and then you draw more positive to you. So those are some things that you can do, because when we come from a place of the heart, we suddenly are able to access a new level of light, and our connection with the angels then becomes clearer, and the beautiful light and guidance of our soul then is suddenly able, it's more able for us
to open up the channel, don't you?
You do. Once you open that heart, it becomes so much easier to open it again, right? And you can, when you open your heart, fear really loses its grip of control over you, and that infinite possibilities for your life to begin and to align and really start moving forward. And so I think that's the thing, is that, the angels are always really adamant about us working on our heart, staying in a place of love. And I think it's because if we think about it, the heart is really the master path of awakening, isn't it? Think about that. Our heart,
absolutely.
That master path is. And so I think that's why the angels maybe call us to always work in the heart space. That's what I think.
And so you've answered this with that gorgeous bit of advice you just gave about putting your hand over your heart and taking 3 deep breaths. But what are some other practices we can incorporate in our day to navigate chaotic energies?
There's lots of things. One of the things that I tell some of my clients is when they're feeling like, sometimes our head feels light and buzzy and we feel like we can't be clear or we're not focused. And I always tell them, if you cannot get outside and walk on the ground barefoot, like earthing, then if you have a potted plant in the house, put your hand in the dirt. Stand by the plant. Okay. Put your hand in the dirt. What will happen is the energy of that living being, that plant, will ground you so quickly. It will ground you. If you can be outside, walk between trees, because trees, their energy field extends out so far that when you walk in a forest or walk between trees, it basically scrubs our field and cleans it. And so then you feel lighter and you feel so much better and you feel more centered. So that's something else you can do. Meditation, I'm always going to say meditation is going to be that's a big
it's the key to the universe, really.
So I agree with you. And then after that, I think gratitude. I think meditation and gratitude go hand in hand to really give you everything that you need. But if you can meditate even for 10 minutes, just a day would be better than not doing it.
Absolutely. And towards the end of this show, I'll be asking you to give us a meditation, a guided meditation. I would absolutely love to do that, and I'm sure listeners would too.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that. But I think we'll do it towards the end in case we all go into a trance.
Yeah.
And we don't hear the rest of the show.
I know, right?
Now, Miranda, we're about to go to a break. But before we do, I just wanted to ask you quickly about many people. I do a bit of work with the angels as well, and I do a lot of Facebook posts around them and how they're related to astrology and the zodiac signs and different essences and powers and energies and all that sort of stuff. And I think it is all interconnected. Yeah. But what about our birth guardian angels? So our individual angels, do you think that they sort of exist, or you know what I mean, as in, because you've got your zodiac angels, you've got your general archangels that help the universe, the planet, humanity, but then you've got your zodiac angels who resonate with the essence of each sign, and then you've got your on a sort of different level, the individual. So what about our birth guardian angels, and how can they help us in times of trouble?
Let me ask you this. How much time do we have for me to explain that? Because I think I need to compare guardian angels with birth angels so we can understand the difference of them.
Well, what we'll do is we'll go to a break.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we'll talk some more about that then.
Perfect.
And I'll clarify that for you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Miranda. And
Lani will be right back here on SOC Radio with more discussion and sharing of all aspects in living spiritually and esoteric topics. Advertise with SOC Radio. 10, 15, 20 or 30-second jingles, adverts or promotions, all going out live on SOC Radio. Promote your services, churches, groups or events at the best rates online. Work with us on shows or promotion and you could get your jingles absolutely free. For this and more, contact Julie at socradioshows@gmail.com. Premium membership on spiritualistonline.com. Join our teaching lyceum, classes and courses to certificate and diploma levels. It's an option, not an obligation. Still only £30 per year for unlimited seminars, guest sessions, members' moments, voice members included on radio chats and TV shows, full certificate courses and qualifications, members' promotions of sites, books and services, discounts on SOC services, one-on-one teaching, private classes, members-only Facebook. Upgrade your membership today. Joint family group options. See spiritualistonline.com. SOC Radio aims to provide a wide range of hosts, shows, views and opinions while endeavouring to maintain our three vital principles of openness, honesty and integrity, covering all aspects of spiritualism, mediumship, healing, personal and spiritual development for all faiths, religions and walks of life as a way of life. As part of our spiritualistonline.com, Spiritualist Online Network and Lyceum, SOC Radio brings you the latest and honest news, views and names in the spiritual field. Check us out and tune in to SOC Radio on spiritualistonline.com. Join in the SOC Radio chat room on the website. Spirit Weavers with Jodie White Wolf Morrison, a weekly 1-hour radio show, Thursdays 8 p.m. UK time, featuring those who are dedicated to living their spirituality and exploring how that is woven into their everyday lives through their work, practices and beliefs. Various SOC members from Spiritualist Online Network and Lyceum sharing their abilities, knowledge and more. Dates and times will vary. Live in the SOC Radio chat room on spiritualistonline.com or simply listen in at tunein.com and search for SOC Radio. Sock Radio aims to provide a wide range of hosts, shows, views and opinions while endeavouring to maintain our three vital principles of openness, honesty and integrity, covering all aspects of spiritualism, mediumship, healing, personal and spiritual development for all faiths, religions and walks of life as a way of life. As part of our spiritualistonline.com, Spiritualist Online Network and Lyceum, Sock Radio brings you the latest and honest news, views and names in the spiritual field. Check us out and tune in to Sock Radio on spiritualistonline.com. Join in the Sock Radio chat room on the website. Join us on Sock Radio. Host your own online radio show. We welcome inquiries and ideas for your own show live right here on Sock Radio. Share your knowledge, thoughts and abilities. Bring your ideas to life here with us on Sock Radio at spiritualistonline.com. Or join any of our shows as a special guest, speaker or presenter. Check out the liveliest spiritual chat show, the Spiritualist Open Circle Panel Forum, a monthly discussion show, or the Circle of Mediums, a weekly show sharing spirit messages and teaching all aspects of mediumship and psychic abilities. Or join our Christina on the monthly astrology show. Contact us now at sockradioshows@gmail.com or facebook.com/sockradio. Astrology Chat with Chrissy Lincoln, Psychological Body and Spirit. Monthly chat show, last Tuesday of the month, 1 to 3 p.m. New Zealand time. Join us on Sock Radio. Host your own online radio show. We welcome inquiries and ideas for your own show live right here on Sock Radio. Share your knowledge, thoughts and abilities. Bring your ideas to life here with us on Sock Radio at spiritualistonline.com. Or join any of our shows as a special guest, speaker or presenter. Check out the liveliest spiritual chat show, the Spiritualist Open Circle Panel Forum, a monthly discussion show, or the Circle of Mediums, a weekly show sharing spirit messages and teaching all aspects of mediumship and psychic abilities. Or join our Christina on the monthly astrology show. Contact us now at sockradioshows@gmail.com or facebook.com/sockradio. Membership on spiritualistonline.com. Join our Teaching Lyceum, classes and courses to certificate and diploma levels. It's an option, not an obligation. Still only £30 per year for unlimited seminars, guest sessions, members' moments, voice members included on radio chats and TV shows, full certificate courses and qualifications, members' promotions of sites, books and services, discounts on sock services, one-on-one teaching, private classes, members-only Facebook. Upgrade your membership today. Joint family group options. See spiritualistonline.com. Advertise with Sock Radio. 10, 15, 20 or 30-second jingles, adverts or promotions, all going out live on Sock Radio. Promote your services, churches, groups or events at the best rates online. Work with us on shows or promotion and you could get your jingles absolutely free. For this and more, contact Julie at sockradioshows@gmail.com. Sock Radio aims to provide a wide range of hosts, shows, views and opinions while endeavouring to maintain our three vital principles of openness, honesty and integrity, covering all aspects of spiritualism, mediumship, healing, personal and spiritual development for all faiths, religions and walks of life as a way of life. As part of our spiritualistonline.com, Spiritualist Online Network and Lyceum, Sock Radio brings you the latest and honest news, views and names in the spiritual field. Check us out and tune in to Sock Radio on spiritualistonline.com. Join in the Sock Radio chat room on the website. Advertise with Sock Radio. 10, 15, 20 or 30-second jingles, adverts or promotions, all going out live on Sock Radio. Promote your services, churches, groups or events at the best rates online. Work with us on shows or promotion and you could get your jingles absolutely free. For this and more, contact Julie at socradioshows@gmail.com. Premium membership on spiritualistonline.com. Join our teaching lyceum, classes and courses for certificate and diploma levels. It's an option, not an obligation. Still only £30 per year for unlimited seminars, guest sessions, members' moments, voice members included on radio chats and TV shows, full certificate courses and qualifications, members' promotions of sites, books and services, discounts on SOC services, one-on-one teaching, private classes, members-only Facebook. Upgrade your membership today. Joint family group options. See spiritualistonline.com. Join us on SOC Radio. Host your own online radio show. We welcome inquiries and ideas for your own show live right here on SOC Radio. Share your knowledge, thoughts and abilities. Bring your ideas to life here with us on SOC Radio at spiritualistonline.com. Or join any of our shows as a special guest, speaker or presenter. Check out the liveliest spiritual chat show, the Spiritualist Open Circle Panel Forum, a monthly discussion show, or the Circle of Mediums, a weekly show sharing spirit messages and teaching all aspects of mediumship and psychic abilities. Or join our Christina on the monthly astrology show. Contact us now at socradioshows@gmail.com or facebook.com/socradio. Spiritualist Open Circle Forum Panel Show, the liveliest spiritual chat show online. The Spiritualist Open Circle Panel Forum Chat Show with hosts, guest speakers and panellists discussing and challenging all areas of spiritual thought, ability, knowledge and more. Ever wanted to voice your thoughts and help set standards within the field? Confront those who bring the work down, or simply share your ideas and help bring spirit's work into the light of day and give spiritualism the recognition of all as a true faith and way of life? Then this is the show for you. Every last Friday of the month, 10 p.m. UK time. Join the team. Welcome back to Lani's Esoteric Brunch. Grab a cuppa and a snack as we bring you more topics and discussions, sharing and messages with Lani Sharp.
Live. Hi and welcome back. I'm speaking with Miranda Powell, who is an Angelic Intuitive Numerologist, Energy Healer and Empowerment Coach. And she has been chatting with me about the angels, how we can call them in, how we can use them to navigate through chaotic times in our lives. And just before the break, I asked Miranda about our birth guardian angels and how we can do they exist? Are they with us all the time, or do they only come when they're called on? But Miranda said that there is a distinction to be made. So what was that? What was that distinction?
All right. So one of the things, a lot of people, especially here in America, we understand guardian angels are the angel that we are born with and they're always with us. But not a lot of people have ever asked me about birth angels, which I do know a little bit about. But what I want to do first is I kind of want to talk about what a guardian angel is, and then we'll talk about birth angels. And then you can make your decision of what you want to believe, and I'll tell you what I see and what I know, okay? So I'll share that with you. So basically, guardian angels, all of us have one, with no exception, all right? This is the angel who constantly stays with you from birth until you transition back to Creator.
Well, maybe that's the same thing then, Miranda, because when I talk about a birth guardian angel, what I mean is an angel that is assigned to your soul at the moment of your conception or birth. So that's probably we're talking about one and the same.
I think we are, because I think the same as you right now, that they are one and the same, but there are belief systems where there is a separation of the birth angels. So I do want to share that with you guys. But, I always believe that when we transition, that light that we see at the end of the tunnel, I believe that is our guardian angel guiding us.
Okay.
That's what I've always
bringing us back.
bringing us back, right? They came into this world with us. They will guide us out of this world. Now, this angel's love for you is unconditional, and it's really bigger than anything on this earth. So your guardian angel makes certain that you are safe and guided always. And I think that it's an injustice that people call, and I'm not saying that it's wrong that you call the archangels, but it would be so empowering and so wonderful if you made a connection with the guardian angel that's been with you in many lifetimes. This angel has been with you, assigned to you for many lifetimes.
That is so beautiful.
And a lot of people don't know that this beautiful angel hangs around you. The very first time I've ever seen a guardian angel wasn't even my own. The very first guardian angel I saw was when my daughter was born. And I walked into the room and I saw this being standing over her. And I thought, oh my gosh. And I literally felt emotional and I felt so much love in that room. And that's when I said, okay, I'm going to start working with my guardian. And that's when I started to build that energy with my own guardian angel.
Okay.
So, it's very interesting, but I just wanted to tell you that. But guardian angels really get confused a lot with spirit guides. Now, spirit guide really is a loving being who's lived on the earth in human form. The difference is a guardian angel has never lived on human form, where a spirit guide has. Now, this person then receives, I guess we're going to call it special training in the afterlife of how to become a spirit guide. And this training emphasizes that the guide is not to interfere with our free will, because remember, again, that's the laws of the universe, that we have that free will.
Absolutely.
And it's not just for the angels, but it's also for guides, right? Sure. And the guide is there to give you general advice and comfort and warnings and protections. But most spirit guides are deceased loved ones. That's your grandparents, your siblings, beloved friends, and parents. That, I guess, if people can understand that your guardian angel, your grandmother is not going to pass away and then be an angel, come back as an angel. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Angel, yeah.
So they've never been an earthly being.
No.
Yeah.
And in clairvoyance, they've seen the aura of these guardian angels. I can tell you just from my own seeing, they're very bright, very, it's a white color. It's very, very bright. Where spirit guides, their aura is not as bright. It's more like, almost like bluish green, almost like a bluish green color. They're not bright like a guardian angel's color. So that's how I can tell. But I can usually feel the energy difference too, because the frequencies are higher for a guardian angel than they would be for a spirit guide. Okay, so now that we know what a guardian angel is, let's talk about what a birth angel is. In some parts of the world, people believe that you have your guardian angel and then you have birth angels. And birth angels, they say there's always 3 angels around you. It's believed that a person receives these 3, they call them guardian angels or 3 birth angels, and their qualities show us the strengths and weaknesses that we have to transcend in our life. That's what they are. Okay. So the first of the 3 angels corresponds to your physical body, and that guide world of action. It helps us, to identify, different things about ourselves according to our date of birth, right?
Yeah.
Then you've got second guardian angel, which corresponds to our emotions and our feelings. And this shows potential and virtues that we need to work on from an emotional point of view, right? So that's what the second guardian does. Now, the third guardian angel corresponds to our intellect and our concerns, the world of thought. So it really focuses on those energies. So in some parts of the world, they believe that there are the 3 guardian angels of, one that corresponds with the physical body, one the emotional body, and one more of the intellect and your thoughts. Now, I'm not going to tell you that they're absolutely wrong, because I will tell you that there are times where I've sat with someone to do a reading and I could see 3 angels around them. And I know for a fact that they're not archangels. And I know for a fact that they're not just the angels that work with the archangels. I can actually see that there is something different about them. But I just take them as angelic beings, because for me, I don't necessarily need to know the title of what type of angel they are. I just know that they're there to assist. And once I know that they're to assist, I listen to the message that they're giving and I give it to the person that's sitting there. But majority of the time when I'm doing a reading for someone, I see one angel, and it's usually the guardian that's sitting there. Sometimes there are spirit guides that come in as well, but it's, like I said, I'm not going to dismiss the fact that, there are some parts of the world that practice and believe in the 3 birth angels, but I don't always see it. That's what I'm going to tell you. I don't always. I have seen it on a couple occasions, but I never sat and asked, "Are you birth angels?" Do you know what I mean? It's just just whatever message they want to give, I always just relay that message. So I think that hopefully that kind of defined it a little bit. But I'm like you, Lani. I believe that the guardian angel is the birth angel. That's what I believe. Yeah.
So you don't really make a distinction between those two.
And does it really matter? Think about it. When the angels come through, because I believe they're a species. There's not just a small amount of angels. I believe there's a species, and they have, just like us with the different colors and different heights and that's the same with the angels. I mean, I recently cosmic angels, never heard of them in my life, and I discovered them at a woman's house. She asked me to come. She had some energy that was really high in one area of her house. I went, and these massive angels were standing there, and when I started telling her some of the things that I was seeing, she said, oh my gosh, that's what I was getting in a dream. And she started sharing stuff that they were sharing with me, and I was able to validate a lot of the things that they were telling me to her, and they told me there were cosmic angels. So I'm learning about them, and I'm learning that there are races of angels. Yes, because we are changing. There's more types of angels that are coming to this earth that are assisting us right now. So it's been so fascinating to be able to do this type of work and to interact with all of the different energies that are coming in.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely beautiful.
I mean, when I've been doing a lot of research around the angels because I've just written a book called Divine Zodiac Messages. So that's messages from the angels, the runes, numerology, all sorts of esoteric sort of realms. And when I was researching about angels, I read somewhere that do you believe, well, I'll ask the question then, do you believe we necessarily summon an angel? Is that possible, or do they just come to our aid and guidance as required? Because some argue that you can't actually invoke or summon an angel. They come to you.
I don't know. I believe you can invoke them. Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why I believe it. There was angels that I had never heard of. And when I was learning about them, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to call them because I've never seen them. I've never worked with them. I'm going to invoke them. And I did that.
Sure.
And when their energies came through, it was very different. And it's like each of us, we each have our own energy. Think about that. Each and every one of us have our own energy signature. And so like in your home feels good because it's your energy within the home. When you go into my home feels different than yours. It's because it's my energy signature, right?
Yeah.
Well, angels also have their own energy signature. They're not all the same. They have a difference. They're all made of love, but their energies are different. And so I think that if you haven't worked with a particular angel, you can invoke them. I do believe that you can. If you've never worked with them, you can call them and ask them to come forward and work with you. So if we can invoke, invoke gods and goddesses and invoke nature spirits and things like that, why couldn't we invoke an angel?
Well, that's a good point. But the thing is, and the reason I ask, one of the reasons, is that you mentioned before, you told us your story about when you had the accident in your truck.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people have something, a trauma occur, and then it's only afterwards that they reflect on the scenario and they say, I was saved by angels. That's how they feel, that, that's how they survived, or that's how it all transpired. Now, those people in those traumatic circumstances didn't call that angel because it was only afterwards that they reflect on it and say, I was saved by angels. So sometimes it's a case of, do you think an angel just coming to your aid all of a sudden without having been called?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I believe that.
Or do you think you always necessarily have to call them in?
No. If it's not your time to transition, I believe that the angels will come to you immediately. So we do have free will, but the only time that an angel can go against free will is when we are in danger.
Okay.
And so when we are in danger and they know that it's not time for us to transition, they will step in.
So that's the only time that they will, for want of a better word, they'll interfere.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's the only time.
Your path,
Absolutely.
Cross your path, I should say.
Yeah, cross your path,
It's completely, it's not interfering at all because that's their divine mission. Okay, so what if you're feeling lost, depleted, in deep grief, and you don't feel angelic energy at all, or you have difficulty connecting with them, but you want to, what can strengthen your connection with the angels?
Okay, so let's say, because I work with someone who's very, very depressed, and she can't get herself out of it. She's just having a hard time with it.
Yeah.
And I told her, there's no way I could get her to meditate. That wasn't going to happen.
Okay.
So what I had her do, I said, what would you do? And she said, I'll journal. So she'll write things down, even though she won't do any, because she can't get out of bed. But she doesn't want to just lay there doing nothing.
It's debilitating.
Yes, it is. And so she will journal. And I tell her, can you just write me 3 things that you do like? Just if it's a color, if it's a food, anything. 3 things that you can write, just each day. Even if you write some of the same things, I just want you to write 3 things.
Yep,
She said, okay. As she was doing that, and she kept doing that, she started becoming a little bit more positive. She stopped laying down writing it, and she was sitting down writing it. And then she was starting to walk a little bit. And then I said, okay, so now we're moving around a little bit. Is there a particular angel that you absolutely just love or you feel a draw to? And then I'll say, don't think about it, just whatever name pops in your head. And then she'll give me a name, and then I'll say, okay, and I'll give her a stone or a crystal that is associated with the angel. And I say to her, sometimes when you just don't feel like you're being supported or you just feel like you're lost, I want you to hold on to this stone, keep it under your pillow if you want, and just call that angel. Just call their name. Just say it one time. And that's what she's done. And that's helped her tremendously.
And so she's formed that connection and that resonance.
Right. Mm-hmm. And it's hard. It's hard when you have grief. When my father died, my mother had so much grief. But it was her just knowing, her thing with him was that, yes, he was gone from this world, but he was there with the angels. And that is the only thing that kept her clear, was that's where he was. That he was dead, not that he's with the angels.
Absolutely. So tell me, there are 2 areas where people sort of fall down a little bit in us mere mortals. And they are, and I'll ask you about them separately. The first one is what you were just talking about, and that's grief. So can you give us an angel or angels that can help us through periods of loss or grief?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When there's any type of loss or grief, I'm going to tell you the very, very first angel that I call is Archangel Raphael. Okay. And the reason why I'm going to tell you that is because Archangel Raphael can really help us to heal emotionally. And so when we are just full of grief, when you call Archangel Raphael, he's going to come and immediately he's going to start working with you. Archangel Raphael, to me, is one of the easiest angels to call.
And he's a greeny, he's got a green vibration, doesn't he? Which is a very healing colour.
Exactly. And wearing the color green is going to help you too to connect with him. It makes you feel like you have that connection easier with him. Yeah. So I would say that. The other archangel that I would say is Archangel Shamuel, because Shamuel works with the heart. So when we are full of grief and we're just heartbroken and we just can't seem to move forward, Archangel Shamuel is the angel that can work with you. Now, Archangel Shamuel is the heart chakra, and usually in some practices, the heart is considered pink and some it's considered green.
Sure.
So you can merge the green of Raphael and the pink of Shamuel, and then you have both these angels that can help you out of grief and help to open the heart and because really the way we're feeling is all coming into the heart space. The heart space is our transition between our lower chakras and our upper chakras. So when we expand the
bridge,
heart,
isn't it?
it helps us to balance us in both areas, in our lower and our upper. So it's the heart that we want to focus on. So I would say Raphael, Shamuel would be the 2 angels that I would call when you're in a state of grief or you're in a state of just really depressed or really down. That would be that would be what I would say.
Okay, and the other area that a lot of us have sort of questions around, I suppose, not necessarily that we fall down, but it's a more positive experience generally, or a more hopeful vibration, and that is the area of manifestation. So how can we, use the angels to help us manifest a more enhanced life or something we really desire?
One of the things
and that's a broad question.
It is. It's broad, and I can give you some information. I mean, this is how I look at it. Each angel is assigned, I don't know if it's by us, but each angel is assigned something that they do. This angel does this,
Sure.
This angel does that, right? So realistically, any angel can do anything. And whatever they can't do, which I doubt very seriously they can't do much, that there's not much they can't do, then I think that they would guide you into the angel that could help you. I don't think that you can't call it. This is what I tell my clients, is that if you don't know who the angel of manifesting is, just say, angel of manifesting, I need your help tonight.
Okay. Yeah.
You can call in that angel. You don't necessarily have to have the name, but I find Archangel Raziel is amazing for manifesting. That's who I work with when I'm working on manifesting my goals, my intentions, my focus. That's who I work with. But I also work with Gabriel, because Gabriel really understands where I am with my book, where I am with my oracle deck, where I am in the direction I want to go. So, I believe that each angel can do all of these things and more, but I think we as human beings feel better to categorize. So we give them a job. Okay, Raziel, you're this. Archangel Raphael, you're this. And maybe that is some of their strengths. But, let's say, I'm an empowerment coach, but I'm also a numerologist. So maybe Raphael's a healer, but he also can do, he can help people stay safe on a journey. That's what else he does.
Sure.
Do you see what I mean? So he can do so much more. And I think, a general angel for everything. You can call them so it's just whoever you're drawn to. Raziel does everything for me. I call him for everything. He helps me with everything. So
Yeah. And so some will come to you without being called upon, and others you can call upon when you're needing them. Okay, really, really helpful information. So, Miranda, we're going to finish up soon.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But what I'd like to do two more things with you, and one of them is to ask you all about how people can connect with you and contact you.
Yes, absolutely.
So what are your pages or website?
Yeah, one of the main ways that you can catch me is on Facebook. I'm very active on Facebook. I do live streams Mondays and Fridays. So I'm very active and very accessible through Facebook. Yeah. I am under Angelic Reiki Light Healing. So
Fantastic.
Angelic, Reiki Light Healing.
Light Healing.
Right, Angelic Reiki Light Healing. And you can actually find me on YouTube and Instagram under that exact same name, Angelic Reiki Light Healing.
I'm just typing it in right now. I think I already am on your page.
I try to keep it as simple as I can instead of changing the names around.
I have liked your
easy to find
page.
Mm-hmm.
Stafford, Virginia.
Yes, that's right.
And Holistic Health Service. Fabulous.
That's right. Yeah. And then my website, you can catch me also on my website, is AngelicReikiLight.net. So AngelicReikiLight.net.
Wonderful.
So it's another way to catch me, So you can catch me on any of those, but if you want to get me pretty immediately, Facebook is probably right now, because I'm always doing, like I said, live streams. That's probably the easiest way to get.
And what about Instagram?
Instagram is under Angelic Reiki Light Healing as well. So I don't know the HTTP / all of that, but if you did Angelic Reiki Light Healing, you'd find me. And you can also go on Facebook and just click my Instagram. Everything's linked on my Facebook. So you can find me as well. Yep.
It's a bold new world, isn't it?
It is.
The social media stuff. You can just reach so many more people now.
Right. It makes it so much easier, doesn't it?
It does.
Look, I'm talking to you in Australia. Look at
that. I know. Oh, it's truly amazing. And it's about, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. in America at the moment?
It's actually 9 p.m. It just turned 9 p.m.
Oh, okay. And it's 11 a.m. in Melbourne, Australia, where I am right now. So, Miranda, what we'll finish with, which will be really interesting, is a meditation. So let's begin, and you can just guide us through it.
Yes, absolutely. Now, this meditation is calling on, actually, I'm going to call in Archangel Michael, but you can call in any angel in replace of Michael if you want. You can just whoever you resonate with. But this meditation is to help you release fear and return to love. I think love is the most important place to be because it opens us up and it aligns us for our well-being, for enlightenment, for healing, and it actually helps us to walk the path of love. So I think it's really important that we kind of release some fear so we can actually do that.
And it's actually all there is. Love is all there is.
Yeah. Love that is the essence of us is love, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we're just getting back to it. That's right. So what I'm going to have everybody do, if you have a moment, to get yourself really comfortable in a quiet spot and get yourself consciously relaxed. Just focus on your breathing. Breathe deeply as you begin to shift your focus within. You can call on your guardian angel, any archangel that feels close to you. But at this moment, we're going to call on Archangel Michael. I'm calling on Archangel Michael to help us in releasing our fear now. I now call upon the angel of the light who can most serve me in releasing fear. Please, Archangel Michael, come in and connect with me now. Help me to release fear from my mind, body, and spirit. Please take any stress, fear, or tension stored in my being and release it into the light. Thank you, and so it is. Breathe and continue to focus within. Let yourself become aware of the fears, the stressors, or painful emotions which are still present in your being. You may receive an image or a symbol which represents the fear, or you may tap into a past memory. Face your present fear, acknowledge it, and then release the fear or tension over to your angels and into the light. Breathe and relax. Imagine you are surrounded with white light and that you are breathing light into the areas in which you are holding onto the sphere. Breathe in the white light, and as you exhale, let go of any lingering fear, dense energy, or residue from stress and tension. See the sphere leave your being as a dense or gray energy which dissolves into the light around you. Imagine the mental symbol of your fear is dissolving into this white light. Now imagine the space in which the fear was held is being replaced with love and compassion. Receive a mental image, a symbol, or a feeling from the angels, which will help you to tune into strength and increased love, expanding your heart. Continue to breathe as you feel, see, sense, and know the love of the divine and of the angels, which is all around you. Thank you, angels, for the assistance. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for the assistance. Take a deep breath, blowing out anything that's left, knowing that you're okay where you are at this very moment. Allow this feeling to expand out from your heart and expand out throughout your entire body and aura. Thank the light for helping you during this time. Take one more deep breath, moving around a little bit, blowing that breath out, and open your eyes.
Thanks, Miranda.
You are very welcome.
The first image I saw was an eye.
Really?
A single eye. How amazing.
Mm-hmm. So
maybe think about that.
Think about it, process it, maybe see what it is that you've seen. What is it that you've seen? Sometimes people think automatically, oh, my eye, so that means I'm holding something in my eye. No, maybe it's something that you've seen that maybe has hurt you on a deep level that you don't know how to get past, So maybe that's what the fear you're holding is, something that you've seen. So, we definitely want to sit with the angels and go deeper and understand what they're showing.
Really interesting. And I can think of what that is right now. So I'll end here and I will finish up. And I will reflect on that. That's a very interesting vision. So thank you so much, Miranda. You've been an absolute delight. And
thank you.
It's been just amazing talking to you.
Oh, it's been so fun. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It has. And this will be available on YouTube, our show today, sometime in the next couple of days. So once that's organised, we can pop that YouTube video on our Facebook pages, on our social media groups. So share away. And I think listeners would have got so much out of your information today. So I really appreciate your being my special guest.
I appreciate you inviting me. Thank you so much for, inviting me to come here and share the light with everyone.
Thank you, Miranda. And you just have a fabulous evening now.
Thank you. You as well. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for Lani Sharp's Esoteric Brunch. See you next time for more. Bring your friends and join us weekly with Lani for an Esoteric Brunch. SOC Radio aims to provide a wide range of hosts, shows, views and opinions while endeavouring to maintain our three vital principles of openness, honesty and integrity, covering all aspects of spiritualism, mediumship, healing, personal and spiritual development for all faiths, religions and walks of life as a way of life. As part of our spiritualistonline.com, Spiritualist Online Network and Lyceum, SOC Radio brings you the latest and honest news, views and names in the spiritual field. Check us out and tune in to SOC Radio on spiritualistonline.com. Join in the SOC Radio chat room on the website.